back at it again one more time. And we'll just have to deal with those who are missing are just going to miss out. Too bad, too bad. Because I'm going to talk about something very important today.
You snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you lose. And this one's a big one. Most people won't tell you about this type of thing. I'm going to tell you a little inside into my world, which kind of is going to reflect your world. I call it the way of the Shidoshi. Way of the Shidoshi. The Shidoshi is a very important title in my martial art, the Utaka-Ha. Very important indeed, because it means that person is dead to the temptations of the world. And what does that mean? Dead to temptations. Yeah.
Okay, well, were you asking that as like a question for somebody to answer?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I just assume it means that he is not, he basically doesn't fall to any of the temptations. He is unfazed by them, basically.
Right. Unfazed. Dead to the temptations of the world. Now, in order to be dead to the temptations of the world, we have to keep it real. You know, this is one of my favorite sayings, and I speak about it all the time. It's a biggie in my philosophy. Keep it real. Keep it real with yourself. You have to know you. You have to trust you. You have to be okay with you. Ooh, that's a toughie. Mm-hmm. Being honest with yourself is one of the hardest challenges that we'll ever undertake. It takes real courage to confront ourselves and bring ourselves back into reality. We have a tendency to lie to ourselves. Now, you can't be a Shidoshi if you are going to lie to yourself. If you say, well, I'm good at this when you suck at it. And you can't say, well, I suck at this if you're good at it. It has to be 100% truth. Someone to be dead to the temptations of the world means being dead to giving yourself false information as well. But that false information could be things like, I'm a terrible person. Well, that's probably not true. Giving false information could be things like, I'm a lazy bum. Or, I'll never amount to anything. Or, I can't possibly learn this. Or, I can't do that. I'm not capable of being this, that, or the other, when in fact you are. One way we keep it real is to question ourselves about our decisions. And ask a very, very important question. And that question is, why did I decide to do that? Or why am I deciding to do this? A person who is a Shidoshi must understand the truth. Truth must be where they live at all times. It's impossible to be dead to the temptations of the world if you're not dead to the ideas of putting yourself down. It's impossible to be a Shidoshi dead to the temptations of the world if you do not look at the big picture without emotion or being attached to it. You must think logically, like Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock was probably a Shidoshi. The logics, Captain. Just the logics. Quite illogical, Captain. We can't allow our emotions to rule our life. We can't allow our emotions to dictate our decisions. We can't allow our emotions to let us be what we're not. We can't allow our emotions to control us. We must control our emotions. To be a Shidoshi, one must be dead to the temptations of the world. That means dead to your emotions. Now, that doesn't mean emotionless. It means a person in total control of their emotions. Remember, I talked about the surfer and the emotions being like the wave. Now, you've got two choices, and I'll just reiterate it for you all. You got two choices. If your emotions are a wave and you are the swimmer or the surfer, you can turn your back to the wave and crash, and the wave takes you on and pulls you into the undertow, tosses you around like you're a little ragamuffin. Or you can dive into the wave and swim, try to swim against that undertow, try to work really hard, but it still takes control over you. Or the last and final option, which is the option of the Shidoshi, and that is to be none other than the surfer. You surf the wave. You don't allow the wave to dictate to you and control you and totally dominate you. Rather, you dominate the wave in a way by riding it. Riding it. So to be a Shidoshi in our art form, to be dead to the temptations of the world, is to be in control of your emotions. To think logically. And to know yourself truly by asking yourself why. Why did I do this? Why did I think that way? Why? And then answering honestly. To really know yourself. In my martial art, we call this emotional state a Shidoshi. Or someone who's dead to the temptations of the world. To use your logical mind when confronting problems is a trademark of an Utaka-Ha Shidoshi. Your logical mind. Your tire breaks down. You have a couple choices. You could take the tire iron and beat the car into submission. Until that daggone tire has learned its lesson. That's one way. You could take that tire and throw it off the side of the road, cussing it up out of storm, throw the wheel and everything away. You could take out a gun and blow a few holes in that car. Bang, 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 bang. That ought to teach you for popping the tire on me, you son of a gun. You could go around to the other side and kick the back of the fender. Bang! Knock the fender straight off. That ought to teach you a lesson. You could throw the tire on and start wrenching, cussing and fussing the whole time. Throwing a temper tantrum, yelling and screaming, cars driving by, beeping their horn, and you're flipping the bird. That's one option. Oh, here's another option. You could cuss this car out, man. You could give it your peace of mind. You could say every cuss word under the stars. You could give it the business end of your mouth. You could just give it the business. That's an option. Another option is you could use your logical mind, isn't it so? How long does it take to change a tire? Do these things happen?
The fastest I've changed the tire is a couple seconds, minutes maybe. But I was using a ratchet flat.
And do tires go flat? Are there nails on the road from time to time? Rocks and glass and things? Do tires wear out? Is it a mechanical thing? Huh?
Okay, it was partially my fault because I was probably going a little bit faster than I should. But I've got a flat tire just from hitting the curb.
For hitting,
You know?
curb check, tire pops.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah, I bet. Curb check, tire pops, pothole comes around, boom, you see that bad boy? That can happen. So your logical mind goes, well, okay, I guess I'm changing a tire now. I guess I need to work on that a little bit. And you do that, yeah? What is the point of it getting angry and upset?
Nothing.
Just causes stress, and as we learned a few weeks ago, stress is the silent killer. Stress kills. So our logical mind, what would Mr. Spock do, I suppose? It's not logical, Captain, to shoot your car with your laser.
Most illogical.
Most illogical, Captain, for you to be cussing out your car. Simply change the tire, Captain. Oh, but Spock!
R.I.P. Leonard Nimoy.
That damn car!
You
Did you recently watch Star Trek?
I did watch Star Trek, yes.
The original?
No, they have this new one out with Captain Pike.
Beyond?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. One must be dead in a way to the temptations. One must be dead in a way to the temptations of one's emotions in order to function on the highest level of consciousness. That's deep.
One must
be dead, almost dead to your emotions, to function on the highest level of consciousness. Because your emotions will tell you lies. Your emotion is a chemical reaction to what is happening. Your emotions get triggered by fight or flight. Your emotions may also get triggered by love, happiness and joy. Anger is fear. So they get triggered. These chemical reactions happen in your brain. It makes you feel a certain way. That's a logical explanation, Captain. But it's true. So what do? We learn how to control our emotions. To be a Shidoshi, you must be dead to your emotions. But that doesn't mean it's quite as cold as that. To function at the highest level of consciousness, to make the best decisions, we must weigh everything. We take everything in consideration, including our emotions. I bang my thumb with the hammer. My emotions immediately say, "You son of a gun, I'm going to throw you across the river." But then I can't hammer the nail anymore. The hammer's gone. I bang my head on a piece of plywood, and I destroy the plywood. These things happen.
I'm sure you've done that before.
I've never banged my head on a piece of plywood.
You've never like tried to break it. You've never done that like as like a martial arts move, like trying to break a piece of plywood with your head.
I got one very important rule, and that is never hit the computer with something. Keep the computer safe. The mainframe needs to be protected.
I get it. I just feel like I could see you doing that, being like, basically.
I use my hands,
martial arts.
hands and elbows, other joints, never my head.
There's a video on YouTube of him breaking a rock.
Yeah, there is. Oh, to be like water, to flow in almost a scientific way. Water looks for the most logical path of least resistance. Water also maintains its patience. Water can rage when it's needed to, but water can be calm and peaceful and reflect exactly what is. A Shidoshi should be like water, reflecting and willing to know when to rage, but not out of emotion, out of necessity. Knowing when to be patient, but not because they're lackadaisical. Knowing when to make a right turn or a left turn, not because they just get a whim, but because it's the most scientific, logical way to go. And they have to make these decisions split second like. Imagine if you're a Shidoshi and you're a fighter. You must make these decisions right away. Same thing when problems happen. A car cuts across in front of you, and you go, and you must flow like water in order to keep yourself safe. Just flow with the go. Ooh. Flow in the go.
You mean go with the flow?
Go with the flow.
You've never.
Sounds like water.
Yeah.
Sounds like water. That's why the Shidoshi wears the blue gi. You see someone in here wearing a blue kimono or blue gi, they may be, well, they would be a Shidoshi. Shidoshi in here wears a blue gi because they have become like water, dead to the temptations of the world, totally logical and flowing like water. The path to becoming a Shidoshi is littered with trials and tribulations. It's not easy to learn how to become your true self and to be true to you authentically and honestly. It's not easy to learn how to cut your emotions and recognize when you're in an emotional state. It's not easy to learn how to flow or go with the flow, like you said. Go with the flow, but without an emotional overspill. Go with the flow, but scientifically, logically. This is full of trials and tribulations, learning and failing. And failing is nothing more than learning. So you're learning and learning and learning and learning. That's what you do. That's what we continue to do. So, to be a Shidoshi in my art is the honor of all honors. If you were to be standing up here and I awarded you a blue gi, and it said, you are now Shidoshi, such and such.
What's a gi?
Uniform.
Is that a name for a uniform?
It is the name for the uniform, yeah.
For a type of uniform or for a
Martial arts uniform.
What?
Martial arts uniform.
Okay.
Gi. Then you would have had the honor of honors that I could give you in my art. To us, it's the pinnacle because of the symbology we give to it. Now, other arts may look at the title Shidoshi a little differently, but it's not relevant to the way we see things. And that's an important statement for you guys. Remember, this lecture isn't about my art and and being a Shidoshi. It's about what it takes to be one. And here, let me read this to you again. Other arts may look at it differently, but that is not relevant to the way we see things. You know what that means to you? If you know you authentically, it doesn't matter what other people think. If you know you authentically, then it's okay to have different opinions than other people. You have to believe in your own creations, your own ideas, who you are, deep inside. That means you have to know you. Ask why. Humans tend to put more faith in what they imitate than what they create. We tend to believe other people more than we believe ourselves. We tend to think that we don't know. Somebody else must know the answer. What about what we create? To be true to yourself is to trust your creations. And that doesn't just mean like your art creations. It means your general ideas. It's not to worry about what others are doing or even how they interpret what you have created. It's to believe in yourself. Remember our life law number 4. Always be your own biggest fan. We have to believe, know that what we create is worth value. Our ideas are valuable. Our dreams are valuable. Who we are is valuable. And I will say this, all creations have a base in someone else's work, without a question. There's nothing under the sun that has not already been done. However, we must trust our own use of the creations, even if they're based in something else. Let's say you write a horror book. Has it been done before? Of course, but not your way. Not your way. And like Frank Sinatra said, do it your way.
And did it my way.
Yes. Yes, there you go. The term entitled Shidoshi was created by one of my teachers. And I borrowed it and applied it and attached a little deeper meaning to me. The way we do it in the Utaka-Ha. In other words, we sort of made it our own variation. The tradition starts for all of us when we put belief or weight behind what we do consistently. Believe in yourself. Someone might listen to this lecture and go, oh, well, that's not the way that we use the term Shidoshi. I don't care how you use the term Shidoshi. This is how we do it. And we're like, well, that's not right. Right to who? It's right to me. And in this life, you're here for who? You! You're not here for your parents. You're not here for your brother and sister and mother. You're not here for your wife, husband, children. Oh, that's not saying you don't have responsibility to them and you don't love them, but you are on your own unique journey here on this planet. You are here for you. No one will walk in your shoes for you. No one will achieve your dream for you. No one will create for you. And believe me when I tell you, your day-to-day life is about creation and expansion. We are constantly creating our reality. Non-stop. Is this still going, Britt?
Yeah.
Thank you. When we're creating, we're evolving. And human beings are made to evolve. We're made to grow. We're made for a trajectory upwards. There is no ceiling to that trajectory either, if you recall one of the last lectures. There's no glass ceiling. It doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. Break through that. Break on through to the other side. That's what Jim Morrison said.
Yep.
It's true.
You know, the day destroys the night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide.
Break on through to the other side. That's right. I knew I liked you. Good taste in music.
Thank you.
So even though the term Shidoshi I borrowed, and I took a little bit of the meaning that this teacher taught me, I amplified it from our purposes. It made it something even more special for us. And he may watch this and go, oh, Rave, but you know, I told you that this, that, and the other. I'm like, yes, I know. But this is the way we do it. So be proud of your creations and what you make, how you evolve. Never stop it. You're creating daily, all the time. To be a Shidoshi here at Raven Self-Defense Academy is more like a lifestyle. Just like you guys. Remember, this lecture isn't about being a Shidoshi. It's about you. How close are you to this? If a person is called a Shidoshi in my art, they're expected to live a life of balance, health, truth, and honor. They personify the qualities of what I call live hard: loyalty, integrity, valor, empathy, honor, accountability, respect, and discipline. They totally live that 100% of the time. If they didn't live that, they couldn't be a Shidoshi. They wouldn't be a Shidoshi. Oh, sure, we have mistakes and we do things, but that's different, isn't it, though? Because that's failing, and failing is growing, and growing is learning, and learning is good. But consistently, they make the right choices logically, not emotionally. Remember, dead to the temptations of the world. Dead to the temptations of the world. A Shidoshi should be a person who is true to themselves with the highest qualities of reaching their true potential. Almost like a monk or a priest. A Shidoshi should set example for everyone. Can you set the example for everyone? Being a leader might be another term for being a Shidoshi. Being a true leader, not a follower, and always doing your best. It takes you knowing yourself. It takes honest questions. More importantly, it takes honest answers with yourself. As a Shidoshi, you will not see me personally drinking. You won't see me partying. You won't see me smoking, or lying, or cheating. A Shidoshi must be upright at all times. Upright. Sir.
Yeah, so does that also mean celibacy?
Well, no, I'm married.
I'm just saying, you don't give into pleasure, so doesn't that mean you should be celibate?
That's a great question. There are monks that are celibate.
I know, no, a lot. I thought monks were, like, by definition, celibate.
And I didn't say not give in to pleasure or have pleasure. I said don't give in to emotion.
But you also said don't give in to temptation.
Temptation through your emotions.
Okay.
Yes. But that's a great question, though. And there are some of those that give up sexual pleasure. In fact, I know of one Gracie, the founder of Gracie JuJutsu. He was married, but he only had sex to procreate only. And believed that it took away his energy and his power to have any kind of sexual.
Did he have a big house?
Did have a big house.
Was it haunted?
No, but it had a lot of kids. They have a huge family.
Cool. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
That's okay. It's a good question. This is a powerful responsibility to be a Shidoshi. It's an honor that comes with a tremendous amount of self-awareness and discipline. You're the example to the world when you're a Shidoshi. So how can you live that yourself? You don't have to be a martial artist. You don't even have to have the term Shidoshi. You could be the leader of your friends, the leader of your family, the head of the household. There's a Shidoshi for you, the head of the household. Say you're in a relationship, you're the husband or the wife, whatever. And you're the head of the household. Tremendous responsibility with that. An example you have to set for all of those in your household. The president of a company has to set the example. This is very important. So know thyself. Know thyself. Examine thyself. Ask questions of thyself. Keep it real. Keep it real. You don't have to have a fancy title to keep it real. You don't have to have a fancy title like Shidoshi to do these things that I'm mentioning. You could be the Shidoshi of your life and set the right example. You could be the priest. You could be the monk. This could be you. The better question is, if you're not already there, why not? What's stopping you? What's stopping you from reaching your true potential? What's stopping you from being a Shidoshi? Or at least in character? What prevents you? Just you. So get to creating. Get to expanding. Get to evolving. Become your best. Okay? All right.